Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Melissa Gorga shares details on reunion with Kathy Wakile. Melissa Gorga revealed what happened when she had lunch with Kathy Wakile. The Real Housewives of New Jersey veteran recently met up with her husband Joe's estranged cousin for a secret lunch date, but things got confusing when Wakile later mentioned it in an interview. On May 15, Gorga gave an update on her On Display podcast to set the record straight on why she didn't initially speak out about the reunion and what really went down during it. Wakile was a main cast member and friend of on RHONJ for seasons 3 to 7, but she had a falling out with her cousins Joe Gorga and Teresa Giudice. On Display, Melissa Gorga explained that she reached out to Wakile after finding out she bought a house on her street. "So we had lunch together. It was actually a nice lunch. We talked a lot," Gorga told fans. "I will tell you my side of the lunch now because I was very, very shocked at the things she was mad at." Gorga explained that Wakile and Jacqueline Larita were upset with her when she attempted to rekindle her relationship with Giudice after Giudice served prison time for fraud charges. Gorga said she felt bad for Giudice, who had come out of jail humbled, and wanted to open her heart to her for the sake of their family and kids. They were not happy, either of them, Gorga said. She also noted that Wakile told her she felt she was responsible for having her removed from that RHONJ cast. Gorga said that was not the case. On the podcast, Gorga's husband Joe praised her for keeping things classy with Wakile by reaching out to her to clear the air. In an interview with SiriusXM's Page 6 Radio on April 23, Wakile spilled the beans on her lunch with Gorga, which took place after they crossed paths at a charity event. "Melissa texted me, which was very nice," Wakile shared. "So we met for lunch." Wakile revealed that the two rehashed some things that were said in the past, but she questioned why Gorga appeared on Jeff Lewis Live and acted as though the meetup hadn't happened yet. On her podcast, Gorga explained, "Wakile looked at me at the end of this lunch and said, 'Do not ever talk about this. This is between you and I. Please do not ever discuss this in the press and never talk about this on your podcast.' And I granted her. I said, 'Of course, if that's what you want, I will never.'" Gorga explained that she was only talking about it now so people wouldn't think she hadn't been honest about the lunch. "I'm the one that called the meeting," she said. "I'm the one that reached out to her, so I wanted to respect whatever she wanted to do." This reconciliation attempt was a chance encounter at a local charity event. Kathy Wakile, who had been a mainstay on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, RHONJ, for several seasons, noted that despite being in close proximity, the Gorgas did not acknowledge her presence at the event. This oversight led to a subsequent text message from Melissa, expressing regret over the missed opportunity to reconnect. Melissa's message conveyed a sense of sadness that they had passed each other without a word, prompting Kathy to respond with a candid remark about Joe's failure to approach her. This exchange set the stage for a more direct conversation, with Melissa suggesting they meet to discuss their issues. Kathy agreed, and the two arranged a lunch to clear the air. The lunch meeting. According to Kathy, the lunch was an opportunity to address lingering grievances. She described the conversation as straightforward, where she laid out her feelings and reminded Melissa of past events that had contributed to their estrangement. Kathy emphasized that while there were no harsh words exchanged, she felt it was important to be direct and honest about the issues at hand. However, the aftermath of the meeting took an unexpected turn. Kathy expressed disappointment upon hearing Melissa's comments during a July 2024 appearance on Jeff Lewis Live, where Melissa suggested that a reconciliation was a new idea. Kathy felt that this portrayal misrepresented the timeline, as their lunch meeting had already occurred by that time. She accused Melissa of manipulating the narrative to create a storyline for the show. Melissa's response. In defense of her actions, Melissa clarified her intentions during a recent episode of her podcast, on display. She explained that she had honored Kathy's request for privacy by not publicly discussing their lunch meeting. Melissa expressed that her aim was to reconnect with Kathy and mend their relationship, not to exploit the situation for publicity. She also noted that Kathy had asked her not to mention the meeting in the press or on her podcast, a request she complied with out of respect. Public perception and support. The differing accounts of the reunion have sparked public debate. Margaret Josephs, a fellow RHONJ cast member, publicly defended Melissa, stating that both she and Kathy had informed her about the lunch, and that Melissa had remained silent out of respect for Kathy's wishes. Margaret criticized Kathy's public comments as very disappointing, affirming that Melissa had no intention of using the meeting for publicity or storyline purposes. Looking ahead, despite the controversy surrounding the reunion, both Melissa and Kathy have expressed a desire to move forward. Kathy has indicated that she is open to future interactions, though she remains cautious about the dynamics at play. Melissa, for her part, has extended an olive branch, hoping that time and understanding will heal past wounds. As the RHONJ narrative continues to evolve, the Gorga Wakile reunion serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities of family relationships and the challenges of reconciling personal histories within the public eye. Whether this meeting marks the beginning of a renewed bond or another chapter in their tumultuous relationship remains to be seen.